We're lucky enough to be joined by Brendan Loughnane, and I've probably just killed the last name after getting it right, who's going to main event FCC 7 in Bolton against Tim Close. Brent, how did that fight come about?
Well, a few offers come in on the table after, obviously, the tough smashes and things like that, and then went to Thailand straight after the fight, so I was out of fighting action for a bit, out there training and stuff. So I come back and then got back in the gym and seen what sort of offers were coming in, and there's a few good offers. And like I said, I love fighting in Manchester, and I've never fought for a title, so it's kind of jumped out at me, and they got me in a good opponent, what I asked for, perfect.
Have you been to the FCC events before? Have you seen any of their events?
Yeah, I've been to two events before. I like the way they put it together. It's very professionally run, and the promoter's a good guy. You know, he really loves the sport, and he's doing it for the right reasons, and that played a big part in why I picked it.
Yeah, I mean, we were fortunate enough to go to the last one, and we were impressed by the quality of not only the event but the fights that came on and the people on the card. So it's awesome to see. Awesome to see you main eventing it. You say it's a title fight. Are you hungry for the title, or are you just hungry for the win and a fantastic performance?
I'm just hungry in general.
Of course.
I've not fought in a couple of months now. My last fight was a loss, and I'm not a born loser. I'm born to win, and I'm looking to get that W back. And I've trained extremely hard. I mean, been over to Tiger Muay Thai. I've just come back from Amsterdam, where I've been training with Melvin Manoff for 3 days. Andy Sauer, guys like that. So I've ticked all the boxes for this one. Believe me, I'm ready for this fight.
You faced Tim Close, and Tim was on a 6-fight win streak before he encountered Marcin Warczak at Made for the Cage last. He's going to be coming off a loss, coming back in. Do you think that makes him more dangerous, or do you not worry about that at all?
We're both coming off losses. We're both in the same boat. We're both young, and we're both hungry. He's hungry, I'm hungry, and I can see it being a great fight. We've both got similar styles, very exciting. So if it lives up to the hype, it'll be a great fight.
Do you see this? Do you see this fight going past the second round, or do you think you're gonna impose your will? And are you looking for the stoppage, or do you want the time in the cage?
I'm always looking for the stoppage, especially in this fight. I've got a point to prove, and I really am going out there to finish this guy.
What do you know about Tim?
He's experienced. He's been fighting a long time. He's been fighting longer than me. Fought some good guys, Ryan Scope for one, things like that. And he likes to come out. Got good hands, good boxing experience. That's what I know about him. Really, just good all rounder. Good test for me, especially after, like I say, coming off a loss and coming from the UFC. Great fight for me. Great first fight back. 6-3. It's good record. Good positive record. So perfect for me. That.
I'm going to ask you about the Smash series, because of course you came in late. You came in as a replacement for someone. You performed exceptionally well for someone who had come in late. It seems that in other tough series, guys that have done that have been given the chance, but it didn't seem like it fell into your lap. Does that make you angry, or how did that happen?
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for the words about him coming in and stuff. I appreciate that, and I'm glad people think that. But yeah, I am slightly. The thing what really got me is that the thing when it's coming to Manchester. I live in Manchester. I live a stone throw away from the arena, and to not give me that chance is like taking my dreams away, to be honest. So yeah, it did. It hit home, and I believe I did enough in that series to be able to have a contract. I mean, I put my heart and soul into every fight, and I see guys nowadays on these shows quitting and saying they don't want to fight and don't do this. And I went in there on a day's notice. You're flying out tomorrow morning to Australia. Fought within a week, won the fight, had a second fight against Norman Park, who's now doing really well in the UFC, and then lost on a close decision. So it's like, come on, guys, give me a chance, and it was what it to be. But you know what? I'm 23, plenty of time to get back there.
Some people might use that as an excuse to just go, I'm not interested. Is the goal now eventually to get to that place and go, you should have signed me, a year ago? Are you going to prove a point?
Well, like what you said then, I was that guy. I was like, what's the point in this MMA anymore? I was actually close to not even fighting again. It really did dishearten me. And then I thought, you know what? It's the only thing I'm good at. It's my God-given talent. I've got to keep at it. And it's not to get back in the UFC. That's not my goal at all. It's just to put on good fights, make some money out of this for a change, and see what happens.
You're training out of Predators MMA now, and how's that working out for you? And why Predators? I think you probably could have walked into any camp in the country. Why Predators?
Because again, it's very local to me. It's very close to my house. I mean, we've got Bellator, Cage Warriors, great level of fighters in there. Gav's a great coach. The gym's a great gym. It's got a full-size cage ring, huge matted area. They're training every day, training like real professionals, not just like some of these gyms. You go in every now and again and do your bit. This is like in structured training. Do your training, go home, come back in the evening, do your training. Everything's structured for you, and that's the way I need to. That's the sort of gym I need to be at, where I'm told what to do, when to do it, what to eat, where to eat. You know, where it's kind of structured so I can plan a fight camp over 6 weeks and not just do bits here, bits there. So I was looking for a professional gym. Obviously, if Rob's in there and he's fighting main event on Bellator, they're doing something right in there. So I went in there, explored it. I've trained there before. Gav's a great guy. Everyone's good in there, and training's going perfect. Best thing I ever did.
It certainly seems that as a team, it's really starting to sort of grow and develop, certainly over the last sort of 12 months. Where do you see Predators going in the next 12 months?
Well, I've got a big fight coming up. So's Avi, Rob, Mick, and Declan. So there's 5 big fights coming up there, and I can't see any reason why we shouldn't win all 5, and then people will really start talking.
Do you think that right now Predators is sort of a not underestimated, but sort of an underappreciated gym in sort of terms of UK MMA?
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, it's only really had Rob and Mick for a while, and then because Avi's not been as busy as he has been, and Declan. But now there's a certain buzz around the gym now that I've joined, and now that a few of us have come back to training. Mick and he come out of retirement. Rob's got the Bellator contract. A couple have got Cage Warriors contract. So there's like a new buzz around the gym. And I think that's what's driving everyone to train twice as hard and really push the gym forward. So yeah, I'm glad to be a part of it.
Cage Warriors are on a big signing spree. They have been sort of for the last 12 months, and they're offering sort of 5-fight contracts. Are you interested in something that's that exclusive at the moment, or do you want to sort of travel different promotions and face different tests?
Yeah, I don't want to get settled down to 5 fights. And the Cage Warriors is a great show, best show in Europe, but I'm just not happy about getting tied down to 5 fights at the moment. Have a little travel about and then see where it takes me.
And should the fight at FCC go the way that you want it to and the way you expect it to, is there a rush to get back in the cage again before the end of the year? How many more times would you like to fight before Christmas? Is it once or maybe twice?
I'd like to see what happens in the fight, obviously, and then hopefully get back in before December. I'm looking to go to Thailand again for 3 weeks at the end of the year, so I'd like to get another fight in before then, and put on another good fight. I'm really happy about finally getting back in there again.
Are you the kind of fighter that uses his winnings to put straight back towards training? I mean, because you seem to be flying out a lot, or with the looks of it, I guess you buy trainers.
Yeah, I do. No, to be honest, I do. When I went to Thailand, most of my time was training there. Amsterdam, that was all put back into training. Recently, when I was a bit younger, no, but now recently, everything's going back in.
You say when you're a bit younger, it makes me want to. You're younger, 23, aren't you? 23.
It's been in this game too long.
We'll go back to that FCC main event. You know, they've got pretty vocal fans there. You know, the atmosphere in that venue was phenomenal. What can they expect from your fight? What are you going to bring for the fans?
Oh, I'm going to bring fireworks in this fight. I mean, I've been out there. I've been working my striking heavily, plus my wrestling, just so I can get in there and just. I'll do it. Also, what I've done for this fight, which I've never done before, I've incorporated a hell of a lot of strength and conditioning 3 times a week. Been on my heavyweights. I'm a real lightweight now. I've never been a real lightweight in the past. I've always been a really small lightweight. But now I've got quite a bit of weight to cut, and I'm going to go in there as a real lightweight and show people that I'm an actual lightweight now. Because on the show I was very undersized compared to guys like Norman and things like that, and Freak Show, the really big guys. So now that I've gone back, I've done my weights, I've put on a bit of size, and I'm a real lightweight. And I'm happy now that I can find it. Since I first started fighting at 17, I've always fought at lightweight all the way through up to now. And when I first started, I was like 68 kilo fighting at lightweight. Now I've actually got a couple of kilos to cut, and I think that's going to make a huge, huge, huge difference in this fight.
Is every fight that you have now just to prove a point to the UFC that they should have signed you out?
Nah, it's for myself. This it's not for the UFC. I'm just really glad that I had the opportunity to go there so young, and it's a great life experience to have. And I've got a T-shirt sort of thing now, so now it's just a case of putting on great fights. I'm just glad it's in Manchester, so all my friends and family can come and see me fight for a change. All my last fights have been outside of the country, so really happy about that as well. Really excited.
How important is that support to you when you're in the cage? I ask a lot of fighters this because some fighters will say they block everything out, that they don't hear anything but their corner. Do you feed off the atmosphere?
Yeah, I'll be getting it. If you like having a third arm to me this fight in Manchester, like having 3 arms, and yeah, I missed that buzz. I fought in Manchester once before. It was a great atmosphere, and I'm really, I think that's the only thing that can really compare to the UFC buzz now. The only thing that can compare is fighting in Manchester, so that's what I'm going to keep doing. And then these guys are going to have to come and test me in my own backyard.
You know, this fight, given a choice, will you take fight of the night, KO of the night, or sub of the night? Which one are you going after?
I would go after fight of the night, 100% every time. Fight of the night, put on a great fight for the fans. Win, lose or draw, every time.
Is it the performance that's more important to you at this stage in your career than the win, or do you have to be realistic and say, look, if I don't rack up wins, it's going to be tougher for me to get back into bigger shows? Or is that not an issue for you?
No, the win's very important. Don't get me wrong. The win is extremely important in this fight after coming off a loss. But at the same time, I'm in it for good fights. I mean, you've got guys that I've seen that are like 30-1, 30-7, but they will never get signed by the UFC because they're boring. Yeah. And I want to be boring. I want to be known as, that Brendan's fighting. I don't want to go to the bathroom, Brendan's fighting. I want to be known as one of them. So that's why it's all about putting on good performances and getting the wins.
And of course, should this fight go the way you want to, you're going to have a title to defend. Can we expect that you will defend the FCC title at least once?
We'll see what happens.
I'm not trying to. I'm not discounting your opponent or trying to be disrespectful. It's just, with sort of the regional or the bigger regional shows, sometimes they'll get a champion who then is gone, and they never sort of establish themselves as a champion of a promotion. Should the fight go the way you want to, would you want to defend your title?
Don't see why not. Fighting in Manchester is a big thing for me, and this show's based in Manchester. There's no other fight shows that are based in Manchester at the moment, so why not? Let's see what happens.
Brendan, I want to thank you ever so much for taking the time out to talk to us, especially with the fight not being so far off. Before we let you go, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to or any sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yeah, just obviously my parents have always been there from the start. They play a massive role in cooking my food, doing my washing, things like that. I wouldn't really survive without that. And then obviously you've got my sponsors, the guy that's just opened a gym with me, All Powers MMA in town. You've got my strength and conditioning coach, Anthony, striking coach, Anthony. My phys, Nazio, my physio, and all the guys at Predators who are helping me for this, and you guys for being in touch and keeping me in the spotlight. Thank you very much.
Oh, our pleasure, mate. Look, we look forward to seeing you fight. We look forward to the FCC 7, and I want to thank you ever so much for taking the time to talk to us.
You too, guys. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Brandon. Thanks, pal. Wicked.
See you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.